and solution. So today I'll walk you through course content that we'll be offering you in this course, and then we'll see one demo of AWS Lambda. So let me know if you can see my screen.
And also, everyone, I'm requesting you to introduce about yourself. We'll start with Ajay. Can you brief about yourself?
Hi, good morning, Ganesh and Jalaj. My name is Ajay, and I have more than 10 years of experience into recruitment. I am into managerial position, not very high managerial position, just like a team lead. So I have 4 degrees, including LLB. Recently, I completed that, but that is not the way I want to go. Maybe that is plan B for my, maybe once I get retired, or maybe in late second innings of my life. That's about me. Thank you.
Ashish?
So my name is Ashish Tippett, and I have an experience of 8 years. And basically, I'm from a digital area, means related to web development and its related technologies. That's it from my side.
Okay. Faisal?
Hello everyone, this is Faisal. I have like 5 years of experience working as a data analyst and BI developer. So looking forward to upskill myself in data engineering.
Okay. Mahesh Verma, right?
Yep. Yeah, currently I'm working as a data analyst. Yeah, looking forward to upskill myself on AWS.
Okay. Vinod?
Yeah, I'm working as a digital marketing analyst, and I'm trying to switch to data engineering side. So I'm exploring this course.
Okay. And I can see one more person. Sahuk something.
Yeah, so Sandesh this side, Ganesh, and I'm having almost 4 years of experience as a data engineer on the tools like Informatica Power Center and Talent. So yeah, I'm looking for some upskill on the cloud-based technologies.
Got it. So any other Sachin or something? Hope everyone is done. Yeah, Jalaj, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure, Ganesh. Thank you guys for your introduction. So yeah, in this course, we'll be seeing, we can divide this course actually basically in 3 parts. So first we will start with Python. So Python will be our programming languages for this course, and we'll cover the enough Python basics and hands-ons in this course, so you can go ahead and code the ETL tools, the transformations that we have to make. So we'll be starting with the introduction of Python, string manipulations, working with files, introduction to pandas data frame, and how we can explore various tools of pandas on our data frames, how to modify our data frames as per our requirement. And we'll do a mini project to understand all these concepts at last. And with the introductions also, we'll be doing some hands-on. I'll be showing you practically that how we can make these concepts working in our day-to-day life as a data engineer. And then we'll move ahead with the AWS part that we will need, cloud part. So we'll start with the storage part for this, and we'll be seeing how SP works on cloud, and what is the object-based storage, how to utilize them, what are the various features of object-based storage. We'll go through the storage classes that we have offered by AWS. We'll see lifecycle rules, triggers, how to trigger our complete ETL pipeline with the help of S3s. We'll see how S3 versioning works and how we can utilize this to enhance security or safety of our project. We'll see some use cases, and we'll do complete hands-ons on this S3 buckets. that how to upload files, how to apply bucket policies, how to secure our bucket with the help of IAM roles, how to trigger Lambda functions or some other glue jobs with the help of S3s, how to trigger SNNS with the help of S3s. And all these things we'll be seeing practically and with hands-ons in this course. And then next we will start with the AWS Lambda. So Lambda is basically a serverless programming tool, or you can say. So this helps you to achieve various ad hoc tasks, and you can automate those ad hoc tasks with the help of AWS Lambda. We'll see its features, we'll see its use cases where we should use AWS Lambda and where we should use other AWS services and where we should try to avoid AWS Lambdas. We'll see its limitations, and I'll also introduce you to the AWS created Boto3 library, that how to access various AWS resources from AWS Lambda. We'll go through some hands-on labs, and we'll code a few example Lambdas to access our files in buckets, or to access IAM services in our buckets, or to access some other AWS services, and how to connect with them, and how to utilize a functionality of AWS Lambda to automate our pipelines, automate our day-to-day work. And then next, we will move ahead with the AWS Athena. So Athena is basically a serverless SQL-based tool that you can help utilize to see that you can utilize to Ashish, I'll take questions in end, and I'll definitely answer your question. Yeah. So we'll see what is Athena, that how we can utilize AWS Athena's capability to validate our data, to utilize, see our data, what it can do, in which use cases we can use Athena, how do we can create Athena tables, how, and I'll introduce you to Glue crawlers that can create Athena tables for you automatically, how to modify Glue crawlers, and how to utilize its functionality, and we'll see how we can query Athena tables. And then we'll move ahead with the AWS Glue. So Glue is basically a tool, ETL tool that we can use in AWS environment. Here we have 2 or 3 options to make our transformations on data. We can use visually created, we can use visual transformations where we just have to drag and drop and select the transformations type. This is something like Informatica or Talent that we use, and we'll see how do we use Glue in that way. And otherwise, we can go and directly code in Glue. While coding also, we have multiple options. We do have a Spark shell where we can utilize the functionality of Spark cluster and write our Scala Spark program or PySpark program. We do have a Python shell, and where we can go ahead and write our complete Python programs to do ETL, do transformation of our data, read it from some sources, write it to some targets, and do all the required transformations, joins, and whatever you want to do, you can do with Glue in the coding sites. I'll see that how we can. I'll show you how we can go ahead and check the logs on CloudWatch, how to utilize the CloudWatch functionality to make sure our job is running fine. We'll do some ETL projects, and we'll see how it is priced and what are the use cases of the AWS Glue, in which use cases we should opt the AWS Glue service for doing our transformations. Next, we'll see data warehousing tool in cloud, and that's AWS Redshift. So you can compare AWS Redshift with Snowflake. So if you know Redshift, you'll be kind of 70% will also know Snowflake. We'll see how a data warehouse works, how its workload management is done. We'll see some DDL, DML queries in Redshift, how we can run those things, and how we can modify our data with the help of DML queries. We'll see this code structure. We'll understand that how it works behind the scenes, how it is handling the parallel processing, and how it is providing you the best optimized results. And we'll see it's one of the functionality that is Redshift Spectrum. In this, actually, Redshift can connect with external data sources like Athena, DynamoDB, and some other sources like whatever, all the sources that offer JDBC, ODBC connections. We'll see how to connect with those services and how to make sure your data is one place in Redshift. We'll see the encoding types and data compression options that should provide for us to optimize our data storage cost and data storage memory that we need. And then we go ahead and we'll see how we can load our data into Redshift, how we can unload our data back to some sources to Redshift, how to connect our AWS Redshift with the help of Glue, how to fire a query from AWS Glue to Redshift, and how to automate those things. We'll see all those things. Then we'll see Redshift's pricing, how it is priced, and we'll see how we can perform various kind of optimizations on AWS Redshift. So here we will cover all the features and offerings there are on Redshift, and you will be having complete knowledge on the AWS Redshift, and you can pick it on your resume as a data warehouse tool also. We'll see Amazon EMR in action. EMR is basically Elastic MapReduce, that is, you can say, cloud version of Hortonworks or Cloudera. We'll see capabilities of Hadoop and how to utilize those capabilities on our cloud AWS, and we'll see how to launch an EMR cluster, how to access that cluster, utilization of EMR Studio, how to interact, and how to run your Hive queries, Pig queries, or Spark queries on EMR cluster. We'll see how to utilize the serverless EMR. I'll also tell you the basics of it. What is serverless? What is server? What is managed services? What is unmanaged services? We'll go through and see the complete deep knowledge of EMR and other services also. I'll walk you through some use cases on EMR, when to use EMR and want to avoid EMR, and comparison between Amazon EMR and AWS Glue, like which service to use in what use cases. And definitely we'll go through some hands-ons also. And next will be our NoSQL database, that is our DynamoDB that we have in AWS Clouds. I'll introduce you to NoSQL. What is the difference between a SQL databases and NoSQL databases? What are the use cases for NoSQL databases? What is the secondary indexing in DynamoDB, and how to create tables, insert values in those tables, how to query those tables, scan those tables, or how exactly we can optimize those functionality. What is some other features offered by DynamoDB tables, TTL, other things we'll see. And this will be again completely hands-on, and I'll show you practically that how we can utilize the functionality of DynamoDB, in which use cases we should use it and which use cases we should not use it. And there are some other AWS services that we'll be covering. So IAM, that is Identity and Access Management, how to control the access to our cloud services. We'll go through RDS things, that is the we can launch SQL Server, Postgres Server, or Oracle Server, like those databases we can launch in cloud. So we'll see how to launch those services in cloud. What are the options available? What are the features available for those services? I'll introduce you to Kinesis, that how we can utilize Kinesis to perform a real-time data and live data. What is live data? Difference between live data and a batch data. We'll go through some other services like KMS, Key Management Services, CloudWatch. That is a service for utilizing the logs, how to verify logs, how to seed logs. And then we'll have CrowdTrail and SNS, some other services that I'll go through and walk you through. What are their use cases then to use those, what questions you can expect in interviews, and how to upskill yourself and get a job also. So once we are done with this, we'll be having a complete ETL pipeline that will be starting from a storage, and we'll be triggering this pipeline automatically. We'll be doing some transformations on that pipeline, storing it on some target automatically. So it will be a complete ETL project that you can expect in 70 to 80% organizations that they are on AWS. It will be same concept, same level of optimizations we will do. So yeah, I mean, we'll finish with a complete ETL project where you can understand like whatever we have learned in this course, how we can utilize that in our production environment, how we can write that on our resume, and how to defend those interview questions and get a job actually in this cloud field. So yeah, if you have any questions on this course offerings and role, So coming back to the questions of Ashish, what types of role are available in data engineering? So see, once you go through this course, as you can see, we will be covering 2 or 3 pieces. Like one is Python. We will see some PySpark in action also. We will be seeing clouds in action also, and then we will see Redshift in action also. So these 3 also are you can say separate job profiles. You can be a Python developer, you can be a cloud engineer, you can be a data warehouse engineer. If you can learn all of this, and you can be a complete AWS data engineer, and day-to-day task of AWS data engineer is to you get projects like you have to optimize the pricing of your client, you have to create a ETL pipelines for the client, you have to provide them solutions related to data, that how they can clean data, how they can use that data, how they can trust that data, and that trusted data they utilize there for visualization purposes, like on Power BI, Tableau, Microsoft Power BI, sorry. Yeah. So on there, they can create visually appealing reports. They can utilize this data for their machine learning purposes, data analytic purposes. But before making some reductions out of data, we need to clean that data, transform that data, make that data useful. If, see, for any machine learning algorithm, if a data engineer is not there, we are not providing a good usable data to our machine learning algorithms, all the algorithms are completely useless until they have a good data. So behind the scenes, it's a data engineer who solves most of the problems for machine learning tools, for analytical tools, for appealing reports. And this reports, this analysis are useful for the organizations so they can improve their services, they can improve their revenues. Yeah, open to questions.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, like, in this course, like, are we covering any kind of any reporting tool, just like QuickSight or something like that?
Currently, it is not there, but if we need, we can pull it in. But that
Yeah.
will not be a complete expert level, because I'll be frank, I have idea on those things. I can give you the that how can utilize this and how we can create visualizations, but it will not be on expert level. The other thing that I mentioned in this PPT, that will be on expert level. And as a data engineer, if I will be frank, like you are not supposed to work on those front end tools.
Yeah, right. Okay, thank you.
Ashish?
Any more questions? Please feel free to ask, like whatever you have some doubts, or you see if this course will be good for you or not, or how can you utilize this course, or
What about like building some CI/CD pipeline, data pipelines on AWS?
CI/CD we can make, and it comes under a DevOps things. I can give you introductions about those, that what is CI/CD, how to make those pipelines. Yes.
Like, will we have any demo like how we can build like our ETL pipeline, which has like CI/CD structure or something?
See, ETL pipeline we will build, and CI/CD is actually work of a DevOps engineer. So it's under those guys. But yes, I can give you introduction about CI/CD, how it is built. And see, ETL pipeline is a different thing, okay? And CI/CD is different. And CI/CD is, or you can say continuous integration or continuous development, is managing the infrastructure, managing the code. Like how we do in current time is like in my current project also. I'm the one who is responsible for creating pipelines, who is responsible for writing the codes, doing transformations, writing PySpark codes, Python codes, all those things, working on Redshift. Once I'm done, once I am sure that my pipeline is working perfectly fine, it is we have done unit testing, UAT testing, integration testing, all those are done. I just provide my codes in a folders on Git repository to DevOps team, and they are responsible to deploy that code on cloud. That part is called CI/CD. If you want introduction of that, I can give you, but again, I'll be frank, I do not have an expert knowledge but how we can build CI/CD. CI/CD is not related to your ETL pipelines. How we can build ETL pipelines, I'll give you complete knowledge.
So this project that we are covering in this course, that is sufficient to crack the interview, or we can add this project in our resume to apply for any kind of interview?
Yes, that will be sufficient. See, I'll tell you. This project that I'll be giving you, more or less, it will be used in the same format in about 80% organizations. Like I have worked for Accenture, Capgemini, and now I'm with one more organization, Deloitte. So what they are doing is almost 80% same. So we'll be covering how to make sure that our ETL pipeline is not failing, it is not incapable of doing something, it is automated, there's no manual interventions, and we have a proper security enabled also. So on that side, you can be very sure that I'll be giving you a good, sufficient project, and I'll also help you with your resume writing, interview questions that you can face, how to, we can have a dummy interview, so you'll see how interviews are done. And actually, I also take interviews for my firm, so I know what questions I ask, what questions you can expect, and what are the answers you should give to those questions. Because, see, I'll tell you one thing. What happens when you learn these things now, AWS, Athena, most of guys learn it like, what is Athena, what is Glue, and what is Lambda? They just learn those things. But questions are asked like, why Athena, why Glue, like, why we should go for cloud? Why should we go for AWS Glue? Why should not use Talent? Why should we go for AWS Studio? Why should we use Redshift? Why not Snowflake? So such kind of questions. You should be very clear. See, while you're working with a client, the client will give you some problems like, I want to clean my data, and what technologies and tools should I use? So in that case, you should be able to answer to your client, and you should be make justification. Like you should, if you are answering that you should use Redshift, you should be able to justify that. Client will obviously ask you that we have some other tools also like Snowflake and BigQuery. Why should not use those things? So it's a question about why, not what. What if you type on Google, you will know, but why we should use it? That is a more challenging thing.
I have like a couple of questions. One thing, like you said, we will work on PySpark. So will that PySpark will be on EMR or Databricks?
That will be on AWS Glue.
Oh, PySpark will be on Glue. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And Databricks is actually a tool of Microsoft, so that comes under Azure. Yes. So Ashish has asked one question. So once you go through this course, we can say practically you have learned 70 or 80% of AWS data analytics exam. Why I'm saying 70 to 80%? Because theory is theory. You know, doing hands-ons and learning theory and memorizing theory is different. So 70 to 80% will be covered in this. I can give you examples of questions that they ask in exam. I can share question sets with you. If you prepare those question sets and if you learn some more theory about those, if you go through more white papers about those, you can get those exam clear. See, clearing examples on certification exam have two paths. One is you learn hands-ons, you know those things, you have gone through one to clear that exam. And second path is you type internet, you use internet, you download practice exams, and you purchase some practice exams and you clear that certification. But what will happen on that? You are certified, but when some interviews are, or when you are supposed to deliver something on actually on hands-ons, you might not have that knowledge because you have just gone through some questions that you memorized. So it's a combination of two things. You have to memorize also, and you should know hands-on also. So once you go to this course, you will have 70 to 80% knowledge. Then you have to memorize some questions also. Yeah, someone was asking something. So please.
So I just want to ask one question, like, do we need to do certification after this course to appear for any kind of interview or any kind of job opportunity? Like, it's mandatory or like it's optional thing?
So it is not mandatory. So it just like that. While I was also switching like 2 years back, so it gives a small boost to your profile. Okay, your profile will be because what happens, profiles are scanned by HRs and they do not have technical knowledge. So when they see, okay, this guy is certified, so they see chances are better for this guy, and they prefer that guy to interview panel. But in interview, it's all your knowledge. They don't care about this certification. Like nobody even asks, are you certified or not? And I'll say one thing: do not clear certification just based on questions, because expectation grows. Like once you say you are AWS Data specialty level certified, and you just clear that exam with the help of some question papers, you do not know actual scenarios. So in that case, that will be a bad impression that you have cleared, but you do not have any knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
More questions?
Want to know one thing from your side, Jalaj. After completion of this course, are you have to you are providing the assistance in placement or 100% placement kind of thing? I'm
That
just
that we can discuss, Sachin.
okay. Fine.
We both can discuss, Sachin.
Okay.
About placement and other things, like you can talk to him. About the course, you can talk to like Jalaj if anything you have.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Technical things you can talk to him. About other things, like I'll talk to you personally. Everyone.
Yeah. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask, and then I'll give you one demo of AWS Lambda, that how it looks like on cloud, and how cloud looks like on live.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Jalaj.
So this is how actually cloud console looks like, and these are the services that I have recently visited. And if I see all services, if I click on these services, we'll see, click on all services. So these are the services that offered by AWS as of now. We have compute services, we have container services, we have storage services, then we have security management services, and then we have database services, we have some media services, we have machine learning services. So we'll be going through storage services, some of the storage services like S3, and then we'll be going through analytical services. As this is analytical course, we see Athena, EMR, Redshift, in action, and we'll see data pipeline, and we'll see Glue data view, AWS Glue. We'll see these services. We'll go and see. QuickSight also we'll see. So now coming back to service. So if you want to search service, just type it here on box. I want to search a Lambda. Let's see how Lambda looks like. So Lambda, if I say in very easy term, it's a tool that can help you run your code without any servers. Like suppose you have a Python program that you want to run, then you have to install a Python in your laptops. You have to install Databricks or Visual Studio or Anaconda tool. So for this, we just need a Python code. We can come on Lambda and we can run the particular code. Now we have Lambda, that you can see it's named as recognition Lambda. We are using runtime as Python 3.9. We do have support for some other languages also. Here we can see that we have our Lambda functions. Code is here. Let me make it full screen. So you can see here we are importing some useful libraries. I'll walk you through each and every line of this code when we join this course. What are the importance of these libraries, how to work with these libraries, how to see request syntax, how to see response syntax, and how not to memorize this code, and how not to try to memorize the code. Instead of memorizing it, we should try to understand the code and how to search for results online also. And like in this code, what basically it is doing, it is going through one image that we have stored on our bucket, that is S3 bucket, and it is a cars image. So basically we'll read that image, and we'll pass that image with one more AWS service, that is recognition. Amazon recognition is a service. It's a kind of machine learning service they have built. So it can analyze your images. If we go on label detection, here it see when we pass an image to this, behind the scenes machine learning algorithms are run, and they try to identify what is there in this image, and they label it back on the results section. So as you can see for this demo image, they have neighborhood has 99%. They are calling it a city 99%, and the percentage is like confidence, with how much percent of confidence this algorithm is calling this is a neighborhood or such city. They are calling it was a street with a 99.9%. They are calling it road like this. They have called some detected some labels from that image, and they are calling it out. So there are two ways to access service in AWS. Like either we can come like this on console and upload an image and see its results. And second option is like we use these services programmatically. So in this Lambda, I'm using my service programmatically. And I'm calling this method detect labels, and I'm passing a photo, a bucket where this is stored, target file where I want to store my results, and date. And then here we are calling this response detect labels method, and we are creating the client for recognition, and we are passing that image here, and we are saying that whenever the minimum confidence is 70 and whenever the max labels, all we need just 10 max labels. Labels means this thing. So you can see we have too many labels for this particular image, around 20 or 30 labels we are getting. But here in my code, I'm saying I just need 10 labels and I need minimum confidence at least 70%. And then I'm passing a for loop, doing some string manipulations to convert the JSON file, JSON response in a CSV file, and save it back to our S3 buckets. And then we are saving it back to S3 buckets in here. So if I test this Lambda, it should run ideally. I hope it's working. So see, this kind of results we get. So from that API call, we are getting a result like this, where we have all the responses, its bounding box details, everything is there in a JSON structure, but it's not readable. Like this data is not a useful data for any of the front-end applications. No applications want such data. And there comes the ETL engineering, and we are transforming that JSON syntax, quietly difficult readable data into simple readable data from here. Like see, this is a simple comma separated values, and it is saying it's an image, it's a car image, it's a sports car, it's a vehicle, it's a transformation Mustang. It's trying to identify its brand also. And then we have date, like on 21st January, we have run this program. So from this to this unreadable format, we are building it and we are fetching it and we are making it into this readable format. And now this data can be pushed into any databases, data warehouses. It can be pushed into tools like Power BI, QuickSight, and it can be used to create visually appealing reports, visually appealing data sets. So this is the kind of work that we do in day-to-day basis on data engineering sites. So such practical things, such useful practical things you will see in this course. And this piece is a part of a blog written by Deloitte itself, and they are calling it Recognition Lambda. You can search about that things. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now, and otherwise we can wrap up this demo class. Any questions, anybody?
Any questions, Ajay?
I'm good, but one question, but this is not related to the technical thing of our course.
Yeah, then in that case, like we can talk personally.
I mean, no, if I have to ask, then I have to ask right now only.
Yeah, you can.
Jalaj, if you don't mind me asking, like I think you are showing your present companies whatever day to day you do, right? So I mean, is it okay? I mean,
No, it's
problem.
not my company's work. It is, I'm saying it's as company's work. This is my personal code. This is my personal account. This is my personal code.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what.
I'm saying that it will be on industry level. It is not actually industry code that I copy pasted here.
Okay. So on a day-to-day basis, in case if you think it will help us, so I mean, see, it's not a professionally or morally, it's not good thing, but can you help in that way also if required? Maybe something like in our organization, how we do. It is morally wrong, but I'm just asking.
See, it depends. See, Ajay, I'll tell you. There are two things. Like you have sorted out 90% of your work, and now you're struggling with at one particular point. Definitely, you can connect with me on WhatsApp or LinkedIn, and I can push you from that particular point, and we can discuss about that thing. But if you come back to me and ask me like write the whole code, that's obviously not possible.
Got your point, Jalaj. Yeah, thank you so much.
Obviously, it's very simple. Like if you are struggling with some error, you are getting syntax error or logical error, or you're not able to find the approach to solve that problem. Okay. In that case, I can help you. I can guide you, definitely. But
those are exceptional cases. You are going out of your way and helping. That's good. Yeah, that answers my question.
Yeah. But you are coming to me and asking that to write this complete Lambda for me. Sorry means if you join this course or not, that is not happening.
I understand, because many people write real-time project, hands-on project. So yeah, that was also another question in a way, because many people say like that only, real-time project, hands-on.
No, it's not an actual production project that we will do. What I will teach you in this course, how to automate things using Lambdas, how to automate pipelines. We will definitely, I will be 100% committing on this point. We will definitely not have any production data. All the data that we work on, it will be open source data from Kaggle. Data will not be as complex as production level data sets. I cannot create 100 tables, 50 tables. I'll just guide you how to tackle the actual problems in this course, what kind of problems you can expect and how to solve them. Once you know basics, your basics are clear, your concepts are clear, you can write any complex code that you want. But definitely in this project, we will be working on my personal account, you will be working on your personal accounts, data will not be from production. Ideas, approach, use cases, they will be as good as industry label, but data will not be here.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Jalaj.
Jalaj, quick question. How you get that image, the Amazon recognition image, the one which you are showing to us, which is having 70%, 80%, right? How you get that image?
It is stored in a S3 bucket. So we are connecting our Lambda to S3 bucket also.
Okay, so you are connecting it to the S3 bucket, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is it possible for you to show that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, how you are storing it and how you are basically.
See, if you see my screen, it's stored on this particular path. So if you're thinking this is my firm's code, it's not, it's my personal account. You can see my name in here also. So don't worry about that things. We will never cross any boundary. So you can see our bucket name is AWS Engineer course, and then we have images path, and then we have car1 image. So it's stored on S3, it's called S3 service. So it is this bucket, and under this we have folder called images, and it is this image car1.jpg. If I want, you can download this image. Again, it's an image that I have from internet. It is this image.
Okay.
So basically, in this program, again, I'll say you should not worry about that how it is identifying how algorithms are working behind the scenes. Our purpose is that how we can use lambdas to connect with services, because we are not a machine learning engineer. So, and this is not a machine learning course, so we should not worry about those parts. Should worry about how to connect and how to produce outputs.
So most of the time we are going to use Go2 3, right, to connect with the S3 and other resources,
Yes,
right?
it's actually all of the times.
All the times, and with the different services. And regarding
Yes.
that AWS Glue as well, we are going to use the Go2 3 only, or some other.
No, like it depends. It depends how you want to read the file. Glue actually provides you options to read dynamic frame also. So we'll see there those are options also again. Well, while we working with the Glue also.
Right. So say for example, the major challenge I can see in this data layer, right, or you can say data engineers area, is the data validity. What kind of a data is coming, whether that data is correct or not. So is kind of some kind of a quality check we are going to perform, or some kind of a quality framework is there that can validate, okay, the data which is coming on the pipelines are correct, or something like that can be doable here.
Yes, we can program that. Actually, see, if some data that we are getting, first of all, that should be a data. How do I answer this? There are some use cases, there are some cases, there are some exceptions that we can go ahead and write as a data engineer, as a programmer, okay? But if your data is changing each and every day, if your source that is putting your data into your cloud, if those sources are not trustable, you cannot handle those things. But if those sources are trustable, and if you want to modify that data, if you want to to make the data into usable format. That can be done. There you can apply all data quality checks, data validation checks, and you can be sure about data quality checks. But if your source itself is throwing something random every day, see, randomness can never be put it in programming languages, be it Discourse, be it or any programming language. A randomness cannot be handled. Such randomness. But when you are saying data is coming in completely unstructured format, it is not readable. You can make that data readable, but that unstructured format, that way the source is outputting to your inputs, that should be trustable. That should not change on day-to-day basis, and it actually never changes. Like if that request API is throwing a JSON.
If you ask me one particular data I can think of right now. So for example, I have an analytics data of a website which is coming or having some kind of an integration with AWS, and then from AWS we want to plot that data for one particular yahoo.com or use that data to create a yahoo.com hits or something like that. We want to measure it, and that data is coming. Now on that particular data, I want to do some kind of a quality check, means whether the clicks are happening correct, or some data which is coming on the site or from the website to the AWS, and whether that data is correct or have some kind of a quality data or not. So for that, is there any? Oh, that can be checked. Okay.
Yeah. See
or
how
some
I'm
kind of a
saying.
quality.
Yes. So what I'm saying to you, when that website is sending the data to your AWS account, everyday format is going to be same. Now on that format, you can apply checks whether the name is valid or not, whether the mobile number is valid or not, whether click response is valid or not. There you can filter data, transform data, and make it useful. But it will not be happening. Not that website is sending you data in random formats. Like someday they are calling it first name, someday they're calling it a name, someday they're calling it no name, or some they are not sending it, not even sending name.
First name cannot be first name cannot be a last name, right? Some kind of a change is not going to happen. First name is always going to be remain the first name, and last name remains last name. It is not going to interchange it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But I still see that people are using some kind of a quality check framework to just validate their data and have some kind of a filtration happen from the data processing point of view. Even though the data is coming on their pipelines correctly, even though the data is there, the data is still structured, but they have kind of a framework integrated to further filter down the data, even though there are things available like AWS Glue is there or your Redshift is there, but they still want to further filter that data and then use that data to create a dashboard. So is there any kind of a good framework available that can help us in doing that particular job on a day-to-day basis?
Such kind of frameworks actually are built like with my current client. So we have two layers. Like once we receive data source data, we send it to curate region. Okay, that means we are validating data integrity, like whether a mobile number is a mobile number or not. A mobile number cannot have strings. So those sort of basic checks we are doing, and we are sending it to our curate zone, and from that curate zone we are doing all iteral transformations, analytical things. So such frameworks, such data handling, such exception handling, we have to code. There's no direct tool in cloud that is available for this, because it depends on your requirement. It's a kind of customized thing that we are using.
Okay, fair enough. I get the fair understanding of it. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so any more questions?
Faisal?
No.
Sachin, any questions from your end? Vinod? Okay, then if you don't have any questions, then we
Yeah,
can.
I don't have any question to ask.
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
If you don't have any question, then we can wind up for the day. So the test